Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling the structure of fintech, especially for you young professionals thinking about, getting into this field.
Yeah, it's a really fast-moving area.
Totally. Fintech's really shaking up traditional finance, isn't it? Even the big banks are jumping in with digital stuff. And it's like a huge driver for financial inclusion in many places.
Absolutely. Places like Pakistan, huge unbanked populations. Fintech can make a real difference there.
All right. So our mission today is simple. Give you a clear picture of how these fintech companies are actually put together. What are the key departments, the roles, the methods they use? Basically a guide to navigate the landscape.
Exactly. And while fintechs vary a lot, they pretty much all need a mix of, well, tech skills and finance know-how.
Okay, so let's get into the departments. What are the core areas we usually see?
Well, first off, you've always got engineering. These are the folks building the actual platform, secure, scalable systems, back-end, front-end, APIs, you name it.
So like keeping the lights on and the system safe.
Precisely. That includes DevOps, security engineers, making sure everything runs smoothly, passes audits. It's foundational.
Makes sense. What else?
Then there's product management. They're the ones deciding what gets built, defining the products. Think of, say, a new crypto-backed credit line product managers guide that whole process.
Ah, the visionaries. And making it easy to use must be important too.
Definitely. That's UX design. Making the apps and websites intuitive, user-friendly. Very important.
Okay. Engineering, product, UX, what sits underneath?
You've got financial systems development, focusing on the core financial tech itself, and you absolutely need testing and quality assurance QA to make sure everything works reliably and securely. You can't mess around with people's money.
No kidding, and all that data they generate.
That's where data science comes in. They analyze data for all sorts of things. Business insights, risk assessment, making services more personal.
AI and machine learning fit in here, right? Like for fraud detection.
Yes, exactly. AML is huge in fintech for spotting fraud patterns, sometimes in real time. Super critical. You also have business analysis. They translate business needs into technical requirements.
Right, bridging the gap.
And then, a really big one, compliance. Finance is heavily regulated, so navigating things like KYC, know your customer, and AML anti-money laundering is vital.
Especially with new stuff like crypto, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Regulations are constantly evolving. You have things like PSD2 in Europe for payments, and efforts like MiCA trying to regulate crypto in the EU. Compliance ensures the company stays on the right side of the law.
KYC AML, that's basically verifying identity and stopping illegal money stuff.
That's the core of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Essential for almost any fintech dealing with money movement or accounts. And finally, depending on the sector, like wealth tech, you'll have sales teams focused on clients and market needs.
Okay, that's a good overview of the departments. So let's say someone's interested in compliance. What are they actually doing day to day?
Well, a compliance specialist is making sure the firm adheres to all those regulations we mentioned, KYC, AML, data privacy, etc. They'd be doing risk assessments.
Risk assessments.
Yeah, often using what's called a risk-based approach, or RBA. It means focusing more effort on higher risk areas. So like a large international transfer might get more scrutiny than a small local payment. It's about being efficient and effective.
Got it. And a data scientist.
They're building and refining those AI models, analyzing huge data sets to find subtle fraud patterns, maybe develop better credit scoring models, sometimes using advanced techniques like deep learning models, autoencoders, for instance, to spot anomalies in credit card transactions.
Autoencoders sounds complex.
It can be. Basically, it learns what normal looks like and flags anything that deviates significantly. Pretty clever stuff.
So what about the general methods or frameworks these companies use? How do they operate?
Well, as we touched on, security is non-negotiable. They need strong, layered defenses, defense in depth, they call it, against sophisticated threats. Agile methodologies are also really common for development.
To move faster.
Exactly, to adapt quickly to market changes and customer feedback. And as we said, AI and machine learning are increasingly embedded everywhere for fraud, automation, accuracy, personalization. Data analytics generally is key to understanding customers and trends. And that risk-based approach in compliance is a standard framework too.
This is super helpful. Okay, for a young professional listening, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed, what's your advice for finding their place in fintech?
Good question. First, really think about your core skills and what genuinely interests you. Are you more technical, analytical, people-oriented?
Yeah.
Do you like digging into regulations?
So self-assessment first.
Right. Then research specific fintech sectors, payments, lending, wealth tech, reg tech, insurtech. There's so many. See what specific skills are in demand in the areas that excite you.
And maybe brush up on those skills.
Yeah, consider relevant certifications or maybe even further education if needed. like cybersecurity certs for security roles or data science courses for AML positions. Internships are golden try to get experience,
Yeah.
maybe even in both traditional finance and a fintech startup to see the difference.
Makes sense. Gain practical experience.
And crucially, you have to stay curious. Keep learning. This field changes so fast, new tech, new regulations, you need to stay updated.
Great advice. So fintech is definitely dynamic, impactful. We've kind of mapped out the structure, the teams, what they do, how they work. Hopefully that gives you some ideas about where you might fit in.
Absolutely. It's an exciting space. And, as technology keeps reshaping finance, it really makes you wonder, what's the next big disruption going to be? What innovation will drive the next transformation? Something for you to think about.